Hi, I'm James Harrah, and you are watching ForGuitarPlayersOnly.com.
Hi everyone, John Liebman here. You're watching ForGuitarPlayersOnly.com. Coming to you today from the 2017 Winter NAMM Show, Anaheim, California, with our special guest today, James Harrah. Hello, James.
How are you? See you.
Good, thank you. You've got an interesting background. You've done everything from Huey Lewis and the News to Oleta Adams. You've got an interesting career. You do sessions, you do studio work. I'd like to find out about your career, some highlights, and right to start from the beginning. You're from Washington State, right?
Correct.
So how were you first exposed to music, and what attracted you to the guitar? How'd you become a guitar player?
Well, my mom was very musical, played the piano. She always played in the home, and we had a piano around, and it was late 60s that I was coming of age. Well, I started playing guitar at 10, or ukulele actually. But everybody, my brother was in the Army, and he was living at home with us in Germany, and he was in this chorus called the 7th Army Chorus, which he was singing with, and so he'd have all his friends over, and they all played guitar.
So this was you were living in Germany at the time?
In Germany, yeah. And so it was just, guitar was such a big deal at the time, and I really took to it. And everybody, that I came into contact with showed me something different, and different chords, different scales. And so I just, and my family was very musical. We all sang together, so I would accompany them, and it just sort of, developed from there.
The music that you would hear, in addition to the live music and the family and the singing, were you hearing stuff on the radio and records? I'm just wondering, how long were you in Germany? Were you hearing German music, or were you hearing American music? What was available to you?
There was an American station, like a military station,
okay.
And they would play, at least once a week, we'd sit by the radio and listen. I sound really old.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like 60s, it sounds like 40s.
But we didn't have a TV over there, so they would do the top 10 from America. Gotcha. On this, military station. So So you
heard the same music that you would have heard had
yes.
you still lived in the States.
Yeah.
And how did you, when you heard the guitar and surrounded by that music, did you have any guitar heroes, or did you have any influences? At what point did you decide you wanted to get serious with the instrument?
Well, my older brother's records, I was the youngest, and my older brother's records were Stan Kenton and Simon and Garfunkel bookends, but it was actually the Stan Kenton record that got me aware of the session scene. It had all these players from Los Angeles.
Did Kenton have a guitar in his band?
On this record he did. It was a guy named Dennis Bodemer, who's an LA session guitar player. So it's interesting that after we moved back to the States, we moved to LA. It put me in the area that I was starting to realize existed even before we got there. So it was there that I realized that there was, you could, as a musician, you could make a living as a studio musician. I first became aware of that. So once we got here. I was still young when we got here. I was 12 when we got here.
Okay. So how did your career get rolling then?
Pretty gradual. Just playing around town and meeting people and playing my best, and quality of gigs getting better and better, and I think my first big gig, I would have to say, would have been Ricky Lee Jones in 83, I guess it was. So then I played with her a couple tours, played with Al Jarreau a little bit, touring. Then I got with Madonna in 85 and did 2 tours with her, 85 and 87. And all the while I have session stuff going on in town too, and so it's been a nice ride of combination of doing sessions and film and TV and records.
Yeah. So what's keeping you busy these days?
I've been working on my own stuff. I've been doing sessions for people at my own studio at home. They send me tracks. I send them, guitar parts, and then touring with Huey and Olita. And yeah, it all ends up to be a life, a living.
Tell me a little bit about your equipment.
Well, of course, I've been playing exotic guitars. I've had a Strat of theirs for 5-6 years now. But I've been playing like crazy. It's been taken on the road with me, and it's actually been my main session guitar too. Which is a Strat with a humbucking in it, and it plays like butter. And just got a Telly from them too, just a couple of weeks ago, which I'm loving too. I'm starting to get into.
They make some great pedals too.
They do. I love their pedals. Actually, that's how I first knew of them. I met Toshio at a show with this guy David Garfield that I sort of do.
I used to see him. Yeah, I lived in LA for a while, so I used to see him with all the hot people at the time.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I met Toshio originally a few years back.
Toshio Hariba, the head of Exotic.
Yes.
Good guy.
Yes, he is. So the RC, I love. I think that was the first pedal I had. That's actually my favorite pedal of theirs. But I'm spacing out on all the other ones. That's the main one that I use, actually, of the pedals. I love the EQ on it, and just the sort of, you turn the gain all the way up, combined with a little bit of power from the amp. It gives it a really great natural distortion sound. Very sweet. Really awesome pedal.
How about the future, James? What else would you like to do? You rattled off some pretty big names there that you've played with, recorded with, toured with. What else would you like to do in your career that you haven't already accomplished?
Well, I'm excited about a record that I'm doing where I'm singing my songs, which is a long time coming. I had to get brave to do it, so I'm finally getting there, and so I'm getting that finished. I've got 10 songs, and they're all sort of in various stages of being done, but I'm actually probably, 70% there.
Is that for one project? Is that for an album, or is that just...
Yeah.
And do you have a title or a working title for the album yet?
I believe it's Light Years Away.
Okay, but what's it going to be called?
But
okay.
That's why it's called that. Yeah.
When can we watch for it?
Hopefully, I'm thinking middle of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, let us know, and we'll share that with all the followers on ForGuitarPlayersOnly.com. Last question, James. What would you be if you weren't a guitar player? Something outside of music.
Wow, that's hard to imagine. What would I be? My brothers all went to the ministry like my dad, but that's definitely not my calling. I don't know. I really don't know.
Did they pray for you when you went into the music industry?
They did. They did for sure. I'm embarrassed to say I have no idea what that would be. I have no idea what that would be.
Not an uncommon answer. That's an acceptable answer. That's fine. You know what? Keep playing the guitar. I'm glad things worked out the way they did.
Me too.
Well, James, great getting to know you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Congratulations on everything. Much luck, continued success to you, and keep us posted on all that good stuff, and we'll let everybody know. We'll share all that good information.
Thank you.
With James Harrah at the 2017 Winter NAMM Show, Anaheim, California. I'm John Liebman. You're watching for GuitarPlayersOnly.com.